products. This curious enforcement does not sit well with the national alcoholic policy that has since been signed into law by the Federal Ministry of Health and predestined directive restraining NAFDAC from further disrupting business premises of affected companies pending the outcome of a joint committee. The action is not only counterproductive to profitable operations of the companies affected, which would in turn boost the country's GDP. It also minors the agencies and governments in general as in bad light. The decision to arbitrarily enforce this ban on production of sales of alcoholic beverages packaged in sachet and small PET bottles is a flagrant disobedience to the resolution of the House of Representatives on the matters vide NAS/10/HR/CT.33/77C of 14th March 2024, wherein the House, after extensive consultation meeting with key stakeholders, third public hearing, restrained NAFDAC from embarking on such ban and described it as anti-people. We have therefore approached the Senate, and we trust the senators would reconsider the matters after further consolidations. This is truly disturbing, as operators are now thrown into serious confusion on which directive to follow in the face of conflicting directives from different authorities of the government. It is important to note that the sales of alcohol in sachet and PET bottles was not intended to have a negative impact on Nigerians. Rather, it was an innovation to serve as a segment of the adult population with low budgets who also desire the product and should be allowed the right of choice. The ban would therefore deny them the opportunity to exercise their fundamental rights of choice. Contrary to claims by NAFDAC that sachet alcohol beverages encourage abuses, availability in small portion discourages abuses that are usually associated with bigger containers. It should be on record that when you drink alcohol in bigger containers, it's different from when you drink alcohol in sachet. The sachet cannot abuse you the way the bigger containers would. Furthermore to this, equally we want to note, it is fact that alcohol served in sachet by local producers is produced under hygienic conditions and certified by regulatory agencies, including the same NAFDAC that is fighting this ban. We would like to further place on record that the untested and unverified assertion of abuse by minors at the basis for the ban has been controverted by credible and empirical research that was independently conducted. Industry operators have gone further, notwithstanding the reports of survey, to initiate series of campaigns in respect to responsible alcoholic consumption to discourage underage use and other abuses. For this has cost them substantial amount of money, running into billions of naira on advert placements in major news outlets across the nation. The result has so far been very impactful in discouraging abuse of underage persons and has deepened the access restriction landscape. The Coalition for Nigerian Change Movement, however, support pragmatic measures to remove unsafe products from the market. We only maintain that such decisions should be supported by empirical facts and not emotional persuasion or appeal to public sentiments. To succumb to this scenario is a costly mistake. It is a compromise. It will compromise jobs and livelihood and activate grave inconsequences. This draconic action is determined to the survival of the concerned industries operators in Nigeria's origin. More so, that it comes at the expense of the job and livelihood of workers and all those involved in the value chain. This decision is counterproductive because it will open up the market for illicit, substandard, and ungrounded products. It will further lead to an influx of imported alternatives, mostly smuggled, thereby denying government of revenue collectible from the companies, and also deny low-income consumers access to the product of their desires. Finally, we want to let you know that if the presiding ministry, if the Minister of Health, the presiding minister of NAFDAC has given a directive via what the National Assembly has said, and the DG of NAFDAC is flouting it, it is a tantamount to, what do you call it, insubordination. To this end, we are calling on the minister to effectively effect a sack letter. We will stand with him. If somebody can insubordinate your office, then it means you're not fit to work under your ministry. Finally, we hereby call on the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to act without hesitation and fire NAFDAC DG without forthwith, as confirmed in office, as our stay in office is no longer of public interest. I remember my humble self, Comrade Ogo Lincoln, will take away.
For immediate sack, because her continuous staying in office, is no longer in public interest. It negates the Renew Hope agenda. It negates it. That is why we are here. So we want to tell the world that we are not here to protest against the Ministry of Health, but for the sack of the NAFDAC DG.